sometimes there's a tone setter on defense. Like we've seen it throughout many teams. We've seen it with guys, like Harrison Smith from the Vikings, Ed Reed from the Ravens back in the day. Like there's just, Steve Atwater from the Broncos. Okay, I won't talk too much about the Broncos, but the point is that sometimes a monster in the backfield, in the defensive backfield, can really do wonders for your defense. And I think Christopher Smith II could be an absolute monster for the Raiders defense. And there's a couple of different reasons for that. But I just want to start by kind of giving you guys a background on who Christopher Smith is. First off, he's won 2 national titles, so that's got to be able to get up some brownie points right there. But you take a look at his 5-year career here at Georgia, was on that, 61 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, and as well as a sack. Over the last couple of years, he had 6 interceptions, so he really did start to show some of that ball hawking ability. Had about a 70.0 PFF coverage grade, so he's good in that regard. Was a little slower, like if we're being honest, like he's a little smaller too. So ran a 4.6 at the combine. A lot of people were kind of worried, if he's a hard-hitting safety like he's shown in college, like, is he going to be able to hold up in the NFL running only a 4.6? Let me just say, he'll be fine. Trust me, he'll be fine. He'll play more in the box. He'll play a little bit more of a cushion coverage over the top, but trust me, he's going to be fine, especially in the box. But then you have to ask yourselves, okay, where does he fit in this defense? So, right off the bat, you got your first team. Yes, I know you got your secondary of Duke Shelley, as well as Marcus Epps, Trayvon Morgan, all those guys. I understand all of that. But at the end of the day, if you look at what Trayvon Morgan did, as well as Marcus Epps, those guys, obviously Epps is coming in as a new safety, but Trayvon Morgan has been somewhat of a disappointment. I really feel like if the Raiders are going to be in a spot where they can confidently say that their defense is better, they want to put Christopher Smith on the field. And if that means Trayvon Morgan, comes out and they put Christopher Smith II in, I do not care. Does not matter. This needs to be a full-fledged competition because that is exactly what the entire NFL is. And Christopher Smith, if you watch any amount of tape on this guy at Georgia, he's an absolute tone setter in terms of coming down and hitting dudes, kind of across the field. That's probably where he's going to be better in coverage as well, really playing out over the top and kind of taking out some of those crossing routes as well. When he goes against a bigger back, you do kind of have some concerns like how's he going to be able to hold up? I don't think he's going to have a problem in the NFL. He's a great form tackler. You can look at his his game against Oregon last year. Like quite honestly, Christopher Smith is that dude, and I do think he could really develop into being a solid player, a monster in that secondary that you really love to have, a hard-hitting safety guy, but also a guy that can cover. Doesn't matter if it's a running back, a wide receiver, or a tight end. I think he's got the size and the speed to do any of that, so I'm not really worried about it in that perspective. And then in the running game as well, you've seen him actually take a couple of snaps at linebacker. So what could that mean? Well, you tried the Divine Diablo experiment. It's not exactly working out necessarily. I mean, he had over a 70.0 PFF grade last year, but Christopher Smith has shown he can play in the box as a linebacker. There's a couple of different games you guys can look at for that. I believe it was the Arkansas game and then the Alabama game. I think those were 2 games last year that you saw that too. So this guy can play in the box. He can play over the top. He can bring it as a pass rusher, and really I think he's going to be that next monster for the Raiders as a safety. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. That's what helps people find us. Please leave that like and that comment. Also subscribe. We really appreciate it. But at the end of the day, let us know what you guys think about Christopher Smith II being a monster for the Las Vegas Raiders defense.